Hi guys, today we're going to be doing a lesson on homophones. In this lesson, we will learn what a homophone is, how to identify homophones, be able to define homophones, homographs, and homonyms, and we are going to utilize teamwork to understand each other better by listening and responding to each other. What are homophones? Homophones are words that sound the same but have different spelling and meaning. Some examples of homophones include two, pair, and pair, hair and hair, night and night, sail and sail. Over to the right, we have more examples such as right and right. And what all of these words have in common is that they are pronounced the same, but every single one of them has a different meaning. To better understand homophones and how they are used in the English language, we're going to explain the difference between two, and to. To, is a preposition, which is a word that tells you where or when something is in relation to something else. You use this when indicating a direction. For example, I'm going to the mall, or before a verb such as I love to shop. To, with two O's, is an adverb that means also. And when you're using to with two O's, think of it as multiples or excessive amounts. So the O needs a friend. For example, I'm going to Jimmy's party too, or I ate too many wings at the Super Bowl party. Two, TWO, is the number, and this is the easiest one of this homophone to remember because it is simply the number that falls between 1 and 3. You only use this when you're describing the amount you have of something. For example, I have 2 eyes and 2 ears. So let's practice. See if you can identify which two should be used. I went blank the beach. I love chicken nuggets blank. Are you going blank Rebecca's party? There are blank pieces of broccoli left on the plate. Sorry. Continuing, see if you can identify which homophone this is. So the one on the left is hair, like your physical hair on your body, and it is spelled H-A-I-R. And the one on the right is the animal, the hare, and it is spelled H-A-R-E. And despite them being pronounced the same, they are spelt differently and they have very different meanings because one is a living being and one is a physical thing on your body. Next, like the other one is physical living being and the other one is not. So the one on the left is a son, S-O-N, as in the physical child. And the one on the right is the sun, as in the star in the sky that lights up our world, and that is spelled S-U-N. Let's see if you got the fill in the blank correct. So the first one was I went to the beach with one O, and that is because it is indicating direction. You are going to the beach. You are changing your environment. Then the second one was I love chicken nuggets. Two O's agreement. The third one, are you going to Rebecca's party with one O? Again, it's indicating direction. You are going to Rebecca's party. Rebecca's party is a setting. And lastly, there are 2 pieces of broccoli left on the plate. TWO, it is the number because you are identifying how many pieces of broccoli there are. Yeah. So why do homophones happen? Homophones happen in the English language because there are different combinations of letters that create the same sound. One example of this is N and KN, which create the N sound. There are many other examples that create the same sound, which is why it's important to identify that the different spellings can indicate different meanings. Similar to homophones, there are also homographs and homonyms. These are tricky words in the English language. This is because they're also similar, and sometimes it can get confusing, especially if you're learning English or if you're learning how to read and write. Homographs are words that are spelt the same but sound different, and they have a different meaning. And homonyms are words that are spelt the same and sound the same, but they have different meanings. So down here we have some examples of this. On the left here we have tear and tear. They're both spelled T-E-A-R, but they have different meanings. One is you crying, a tear streaming down your eye, like no. And the other one is tear, like you are tearing a piece of paper. And that is a homograph. And that is how you identify it. They're spelled the same, but they have different meanings. And over here on the right, we have fly and fly. And one is a physical bug, and the other one is as if you are flying a plane. They are spelled the same. They're both spelled F-L-Y. However, they have different meanings because one is a living insect and one is an action. So the purpose of learning homophones, homographs, and homonyms is to understand just how important understanding context is. When you are reading a story, you must understand what you are reading. And understanding homophones especially will ensure that you are. It is important to remember that you can change the entire context or meaning of a sentence based on the homophone, homograph, or homonym that you choose to use. Lastly, we are going to pair up and try to come up with some examples of homophones in a sentence. You can use some of the examples that I just taught, or you can come up with some on your own. And for homework, I'm going to be giving a handout and you will have to match the homophones. So on one side of the paper, it will be homophones, just the word, like two and two. And on the other side, it will have the definition and you will have to match them together to ensure that you have completely understood the purpose of homophones and are able to identify them in the world. So that is all for this lesson. I hope you guys all learned something new and valuable. And yeah, have a great day.